We are so excited to be here today, everybody. And pretty much, I don't know. I've been reading the book. I think it's the second time that I'm reading our new book of the month, pretty much, which is called That Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I always get confused with saying the last name for some odd reason. I don't know if it's Lemming or Lemming. For some odd reason, I can't pronounce it. So
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna butcher that every so often, but it's not ill intent. It's just because the accent comes out for some odd reason.
that's
But
okay.
um yeah, I'm really excited about that. I have a few photos, the art, stuff like that to kind of describe the characters as we go. I believe there's 15 chapters.
I think so.
15, I think it's 15 chapters. It's fairly short, a lot of detail, which I'm always down for. This
Hmm.
is a rom-com. So this is new from our previous book, which is a little more darker and romance.
Yeah.
This one, I definitely relate to the main character, but we're gonna definitely get into it. But again, my lovely co-host and she's gonna introduce herself first, and then I'm gonna go through it after I drink my coffee.
Well, hey everybody. I think we need like a name for our group. Like we you can't just be
Oh,
everybody. I wonder what we can call ourselves.
nymphs. I don't know. I'm just saying nymphs
Oh
for
yeah,
now.
news.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, nymphs.
I'm
Magical creatures.
Yeah, I'm Jasmine, the sweet half of our commentary, and I'm happy to be here. As y'all know, I'm the creator of Black Fede, and I have another
Mhm.
podcast as well. So, but this one's like self care. This is me talking about books that I don't get
Oh
to
yeah,
talk to others about. So I'm happy to be here to do this.
exactly. Yeah, because you're definitely into it, and your community definitely strong. I love it. One of the reasons why, well, not one of the reasons, but like one of the main reasons why I came out real hard. I'm like, I fucking love fairies. I love this shit. Let's go. And then, so it's a blessing. We love it. The
Yeah.
Nymphets for everybody. Okay, we could try that. But what I would definitely say is for me, again, everybody knows jazz. I'm pretty much everywhere online doing shenanigans. Right now, of course, I'm doing this podcast, but I'm also actually debuting a kink conversation slash alternative lifestyle breakdown. We're debuting this weekend, and I just got news that I'll let out fully soon. But your girl's gonna, me and my homegirl, we're gonna be a little more noticeable. We love that. So we'll get some more information about that later. But that's definitely strictly like this is very spicy. Like this podcast is very spicy. We're going to talk about romances and adult content, but we always make sure we let everybody know about triggers, everything like that. And if anything, let us know. This is supposed to be a safe space where we just like geek out about books. However, the other one is going to go more in a deep dive about other things, but we'll get into that another time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, right now, we are discussing our book. Give me one second. So, this is our book. This is called again The Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon. First of all, I love the cover art of all the cover arts because this is not the first cover art I've seen. The one I originally purchased back in
Yeah.
when it came out was a little more flat layered, but I loved it. This one is so detailed. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
Um, how would you describe the book on your end?
I would describe it as cozy, heartfelt, and a
Hmm.
little spicy romance. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a comedy. I didn't like to be 100% transparent. I didn't think I was gonna like the book when I first listened to it and read it. I was just like I'm as we talked before. I'm more straight into dark romance, toxic relationships. Her whole thing, the main character, is yeah. We're gonna definitely get to that because it gets to that. But with this book, it's straight up more wholesome. I would definitely say it's more wholesome in certain parts, but I like the connection that you can get as the reader. Like I think the first like few sentences of the book is like the main character Cinnamon or Sin pretty much talking about like I don't want to be no hero. I don't want to be no main character. I don't want to do none of this. I
Yeah,
want cheese and alcohol. That's all I care about. And I was like, I relate to this. I
yeah,
love it. And I think one of my favorite quotes that she says too is like, to set up the book so far, they live in a world where they're protected by a goddess, Mava, and she requires her subjects pretty much about every 15 years, I think, to come back and like they have to submit themselves, um, or get chosen to be their heroes to kind of like fort off all the demons.
yeah.
So she didn't want to be chosen. She was like, I don't want adventures. I know bitches want to do that. I don't care. I just want to again drink and eat cheese. Her family runs a spice factory or not factory farm. So she's the only one. Her and her family's the only one that knows how to grow cinnamon. Is the only, and they were not letting anybody know. And I like that they put that. In. She was like, "We're not telling nobody because you're only coming to us." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Relatable, relatable."
And they have
Um.
like over like 400 acres,
Oh yeah.
and Cinnamon, she has her own little section
Hmm.
of the grove and everything. So, with her siblings, her
Hmm.
boy siblings.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's all of them have like spice names and like peppery names. So yeah, it was cinnamon. Wasn't it like cinnamon chili pepper or something? And I was just like, go off, queen.
I,
It's a
yeah,
thing, but I know like the
cumin.
friend. I'm actually about to show both of their pictures, but the other character besides Sin that we get introduced to, is Bree, who is like her best friend, who I already love, and I love again the introduction to the character. Just like, yeah, her mom thought she was really original, naming her daughter who's a cheese or the family's a cheesemongers, and they're like, yeah, and her name's Bree, and I was
Yeah,
just like, say less. So I'm actually gonna show what cinnamon looks like or sin. I love this. This is taken from the Instagram page, the artist and everything like that. I believe is connected to it. But like, look how beautiful that is. I
yeah.
don't know. This is Brie. Fucking love it.
Free.
Brie looks like that badass. She's just like, shut up. Just drink your food, like drink your beer, your wine, and then head off.
Bree is
But
favorite. I love Bree,
mm,
and we learn more about her in the second book. But
mhm.
Bree is my absolute favorite.
No, adorable, adorable. But I think definitely like this story, if you want something refreshing and you want something cumin and chili, yep. And it's I think with when it comes to again this book, if you're looking for something a little more wholesome, a little more down to earth, the sassiness is there. If
Oh
you
yeah,
like entertainment, it's sassy. Like especially with we're gonna learn about Fallon as well, who is the demon in this situation. He's hilarious. I think he's hilarious, especially because he goes bat to bat with her, and he's just like, "No, it's fine, stupid human, it's fine." But
yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what is so far. I think we're going for chapters 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. What do you feel is like something that you really resonated with the book so far?
Well, I feel like immediately, well, two things. If when I
Mhm,
read, I immediately felt this warmth because you kind of open the book and you're with Cinnamon and her family, and you have a little bit of the sibling rivalry
mhm,
banter back and forth, and they're teasing each
mhm.
other. Mom is like forgetting kids' names, like Kim and Chili, Cinnamon, your name, you know who you are,
Yeah,
come over here,
the
and
girl
you have
child.
yeah, a spare boy child, and
Yes, your boy child. That was my favorite.
yes, and so it just automatically hits you with like wholesomeness, and
Mhm,
that's right up my alley. I know you're
mhm.
like somebody said, read me some smutty smut where you just burst
Exactly.
through the door. I am like, warm me into it, like,
Mhm.
let me see what is going on. Yes, Letitia, like a real family, and it just
Exactly.
felt so familiar and so sweet. And this is one of the rare moments where like in fantasy I felt like it was coded specifically for me. So
Mhm,
I'm like, it feels familiar. I know that I have conversations that sound exactly like that, almost
mhm,
word for word with my siblings and my mom and whoever.
mhm,
So it felt really sweet. And then like when we
Mhm.
met Bree, because Bree is
Yeah.
introduced in the first chapter as well,
Mhm.
like they're like, she's like, come on, girl, let's go out tonight and let's go have
Yeah.
a good time. And it's like, oh, you even love her best friend. It just feels so
Mhm.
cozy and sweet. And I think that initial start to everything is what drew me
Mhm.
in. I already fell in love with everybody. I was in
Mhm.
the world, like immersed. And so
Mhm.
I just, I love this book so much.
Mhm.
I didn't know it's
No,
really
it's definitely a good one. I would definitely say yeah, exactly. That's what
English
sold me on the book
Letitia.
is the southern accent because like it's setting even though it's a fantasy world, which I also like the connection with is that it's like the bayou. So it's like you have the swampy lands, you have all that stuff. They do a lot of things that I feel like a lot of us can connect to, especially POC people. That's
Yeah.
what I love about it. I love the book solely, pretty much like in the beginning, is the fact that it's a POC book. It's black book. It's a black main character. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not pandering. It's not
Mhm.
you fall in love with the characters from the instant, especially because they're again relatable. And I think that's what made me, even though I'm a very spicy person, the fact that I can enjoy that and not mind that there's no spiciness at this moment besides like the fawning over him. And I'm just like, okay, like go off. And she's just like, I hate this guy so much. And he's just like, I don't like you either, but I could kill your whole family, da 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 da. And she's like, but will you? He's like, well, if you help me, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. But
Yes.
definitely, and to speak on that, what happened? Okay, so just a little backtrack. So, as we were stating earlier, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So the thing that made me happy as well, not happy, but just like to go through the book, the storytelling is beautiful. Like so far, even from the beginning, it's very like fluid. It's very like goes straight through, really nice. It starts with they're pretty much celebrating the fact that they didn't get chosen to be the hero. I think her name's Charlotte or Priscilla, something like that.
Priscilla. Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Yeah.
Priscilla, and she does not know how to act. She is over the moon. She's like everybody hates her. Not hates her because one thing I did like about that they're tired of Priscilla, but they're also like we love her. We
Yeah.
don't like her right now because she's being too showy, and I'll be. What did the blacksmith say? He was like, if I ever have to build
Like a
a
lavender.
periwinkle, yeah, periwinkle sword
Periwinkle.
that's cute, but not too, not too heavy. I'm gonna quit. But at the same time, he's like, but they're like, yeah, but that sword was like good as shit. And you're like, yeah, you know
He's
what?
like, yeah, I know I did that.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. And again, it's that community. And I love that.
Mhm.
That's
I,
something I really like.
I can
And I
read
think,
a little of that first part,
yeah,
just kind of
if you
set
please.
yeah, it's really short, but the first chapter opens like this. Let me see. I had only two things on my mind: cheese and how to get home. All around me, people danced and sang to the drunken groove of the village baker, laying his soul down on his trusty lute while his wife backed him up with her flute. Drums beat to the rhythm of stumping feet as the village came alive with the Heroes' Call festival. It had been a long time since the goddess Merva had had upon one of us lowly humans to join the never-ending battle against the monsters trapped behind Volsok Gate. As if by some evil clockwork, the gate would weaken every 15 years. Every manner of myths and monsters would flood through its passage and wreak havoc from our glittering coast to the deep, harsh mountains of the north, where only the maddest of men live. None of that, however, was why we were celebrating. No, the reason for our village wide riot was the fact that we would finally be rid of the uppity brat that was chosen, Priscilla. Priscilla was a fine girl, if a little full of herself, until her face appeared in the sacred chalice during the great calling. Each time Valsag Gate opened, the goddess will shine a light into each of her four temples to call forth her chosen heroes to fight back the demons and close the gate once more. A high honor, to be sure. But everyone loved to conveniently ignore the minor issue of our heroes not always coming back. It was an honor that I had no desire to be part of. I was fine with letting Priscilla and those other fools go off and die. I'll stick to selling my spices, thank you very much. My self-preserving habits made me a bit of an outlier with the other girls in town. Who wouldn't want to go off on a grand adventure with a bunch of hot heroes also chosen by the goddess? Me, bitches? No, thank you. And so, like, that's how it starts.
That sold me because
Yeah.
that's relatable. That's so relatable. I
And
don't want
like,
to be. I don't want to do it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was laughing at this because, like, um, Bree and
Then,
Sin,
mhm,
they went as far as dyeing their hair pink so that Merva
mhm,
wouldn't even think about them. They were
mhm.
like, ugh, pass them over.
Yeah,
And I
because
was so inspired that I actually went to a hair store and got pink braided hair because I was like, I want pink hair now.
I was gonna put the pink dye in my hair and kind of bob my hair and everything, and I was like, it's gonna be
Yes.
a whole fantasy. Maybe next time,
Maybe next time
but
we'll pink out and we'll be Sin and and Bree.
actually, you know what? If we do that, I'll wear my dragon horns. I'll
Oh
do my
yeah.
dragon. You do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be Fallon. Don't worry about it. I love it.
Oh, okay. You I can see you being a very
I
sexy.
love the theme. But no, I love that. The beginning really sold me, like I said, because again, it's hard for me to really get into slower books, like slow burns. Even though I wouldn't classify this as a slow burn. I think it's just more of something that is a little sweeter, a little like natural versus like the supernatural quicking stuff that I'm usually used to. So this book really sold me, especially that part where she's like, "Who wouldn't go with a bunch of hot heroes? Me, bitches. I got
Me?
shit to do. I don't want to do this. Let's celebrate by wrecking our hair." But I also like the fact that even though they're under the goddess, she still kind of bad mouths her. She's like, we all know that she only likes the pretty bitches. Like
Yeah,
she don't care about us. So if I have pink hair, she won't choose me anyway. So go off. So
yeah,
I did like that a lot. Um so just to go in a little further to the book is like, so they are celebrating. They are drinking. What you call Sin goes find Bree. She's begging for cheese, and I can relate to that. I think she says the part where she's like, Bree,
yeah.
my sweet
Me too.
goddess, that sweet, sweet Gouda. I was like, say less. I have done that. Give me
I
the Gouda.
literally just went and see. I bought pink hair and Gouda, and I'm not even trying. Like, I feel like it influenced and burrowed like a little worm in my brain
Mhm.
that was like, these are things you want right now.
Well, the chapter I'm in right now, they're eating the crawfish, and he never had it. And I was just like, I can go with some crawfish right now. So I don't know. Maybe there's some magic in this book
It's
where
big.
on theme, exactly. Now I think you know what, screw it. Next time I'm wearing dragon horns, it's gonna be spicy.
Yes. So
But
yeah, they're partying, everything's going good,
mhm,
and I think everything dies down, and then it's time for Bree to go home. Is that right? Yeah,
and she's drunk as
yeah.
hell. She
She's
is
pretty
drunk as
wasted.
hell. The Huckabee boys. So there's these rascals in the village, as there always is. As there always is. I think they're connected to the fishermen. That their sons. I think there's like a few of them, and they're rowdy as heck. They're the village's problem, and one of them got the smart idea to try to rob her, and
Yes.
she's like, "Little boy, I
Yeah.
see your hair. Like, chill out."
He tried
And
to like,
he's like,
yeah,
"You don't
come
know
in his
me."
face.
Yeah. She's like, "I know your voice." He's like, "Ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just," what he says, like, "I'm just a vagabond," or something stupid. He's just like, "I'm just a traveling vagabond." And she's like, "Then
No.
why would you come here? Why would you come here? We're all farmers here. I have no money." And she was like, "But technically I am, I do have some money, but
Yeah.
they don't got to know that." But
Hmm.
she pretty much sasses him to the point where, and again, this is something very relatable because I have no fear in the middle of danger because everything's a joke to me, and I related to that because it got, mind you, she's drunk, she's getting attempted robbery, and she's just looking at this guy like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "You know what? You don't got no money, but I want your coat, your cloak." And she's like, "You already have one." And he's like, "That's not the point. Give it to me."
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Bro," and she like flaunts it in front of him. She's just like, "Yeah, well, you mean with this little design here?" Oh, you can't pull this off, baby. You can't pull it off. And he was like, well, you don't know my life. Maybe, I need it for my girlfriend. He's like, bro, you don't have a
Have
girlfriend.
a
We
girlfriend.
know you don't have one. We know you don't. You don't know me. It's like, sir, I know you. I take it, you know what I mean? Like the whole village knows each other. But again, that's me in real life because I
Yeah.
can't take anything seriously. So if somebody's trying to rob me, I'm like, sir, I'm broke. What do you, my textbooks? That's what you're
Like,
going to take?
what do you
They're
need?
expensive, but you ain't getting nothing for the market for this. I was like, sir, I got nothing besides nothing. House keys and that. That's it. And that was very relatable. But then I think this is when, so mind you, this is when Priscilla's leaving to go to fend for the gates from Maeva. So what that implies is that the gates or like the barrier between the demons and the villages are a little lower, like in capacity at the moment. So there's a big crash. Oh, that was the thing too. So while they were getting drunk, they heard a big crash, but they tried to, everybody's just like, there's no way it's anything dangerous because we're all Gucci. So
Yeah.
when she went walking home drunk and went through these shenanigans, she heard it again and she's closer to it. So she runs in. She's chasing the Huckabee boy, the guy who's trying to rob her. And
Yeah.
she's like, what did she say? She's like something along the lines of I don't want trouble, like I don't need anything from him. Oh, she threatened him. She's like, you know what? I want your cloak. She tried to rob him. She's like, I want your cloak.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And then he runs away from her. She's like, I don't want it, but I'm just gonna do it to fuck with him. And she chases him and runs into a somebody like trying to get out of rubble because it sounded like they were toppled over like with trees and like rocks and everything like that. So she
Mm.
was trying to help out, and that's when we meet our demon. But she doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, so she digs him out, like she hears the big bang, sees the
Hmm.
debris and rubble and everything, and like an arm sticking out from underneath. And so she's like, "Oh my gosh, let me try to help." And so she starts
Hmm.
throwing off like twigs and stuff, and uh, uncovers,
Hmm.
this guy who she describes as being like super big. She can't really see his face because he has this long dark hair that's like covering
Yeah.
his face. And she's like, nobody in our town has hair this long, like, and definitely not a guy, and nobody's
Hmm.
build is this big. She's just like,
Hmm.
gosh, this dude is not from here. He needs help.
Yeah.
So she's helping him out. And so he kind of like saunters up and
Hmm.
sees her. I love that she's
Hmm.
like, I've been drunk and I fell in a bush before. Not fun, right?
Yeah.
She's so funny.
No, I love Sin. She's hilarious. But go
Yes.
ahead.
But
And
yeah,
that's
and he sees her and he was like, well, thank you, but you should run because I don't think it's right that I
yeah,
should kill my savior.
Savior. Yeah.
You should like run.
And first, and she starts heading tail. She's like, I gotta go. But here is what he looks like. One of his character looking. However, this is nice,
But the
but
cover, oh, this is
I
really
got this sweet.
hard.
First of all, so I'm also putting a plug here for the artist or the author slash artist who does the art. They have spicy ones apparently.
Oh,
And I'm I'm just saying, look at that.
oh. So
Look at
who's
that.
saying? Oh.
I'm just saying. Everybody buy this book and go to Patreon and show that to me. Support this
Oh,
artist, support the author. We need more of that. We need more of that. I'm just saying.
oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. Ma'am. And no, and the only reason why I showed it the way I did is because they are posted on Instagram like that. So I was like, okay, so it's safe because it's not taken down.
Yes.
So it's Gucci for now, but I can only imagine. But this one, back to PG. Look at that. It's adorable. Look at that.
Letitia says yes, the spicy ones are something else with big letters.
Ma'am.
Book two has to
I
I
need to
know.
look.
Book two definitely has tentacles. Bree.
I'm not okay. I know what I'm doing this weekend. I know what I'm doing
Listen,
this weekend.
people sleep on book two, but Bree's my favorite character, and I relate to her so much. She's like
I've been
us.
like
She
this
loves
book.
books, and they mention
Mhm,
that in the one of the chapters where they mention Bree,
uh-huh.
that she's like, I think Cinnamon tells her, she's like, you need to quit, get your head out of the clouds and out of those
Mhm.
uh, romance books that you're always reading. But anyway,
Yeah.
second book,
Yep.
there are books, there are themes, there are things that happen that relate to those books and themes, and I
Exactly.
love that for her.
I'm so down. And I think like I have a few other art pieces to show, but I think like when we get further into the book, it'll be more understanding because I don't know these people yet. Like I
Yeah,
don't remember them. So that means they're not here yet. So I'm
yeah,
not gonna bother.
yeah. Not they're not
However,
here, but Fallon's here, and Bree is here, and he's this
like I could
big.
just stare at this the whole
Yes,
time. This
he's
is
this big,
so
giant,
fudging
feral,
wholesome.
beautiful man.
Exactly.
His eyes
Look at that. Look at
glow
that face.
yellow
Look at
in the
the
night.
oh my
Oof.
goodness.
Ah, Fallon. I also
I need
thought
to
like I need to do like a fan casting.
hmm
Like
I
if
was
this was
thinking
me, we should do it.
we should do it. I think you know what? Maybe next episode we should definitely do that. Do a
For
fan
sure.
casting like this. What I feel because I agree. Like as much as I love the art, and I really do love the art more than I did like the art from last book.
Yes.
Uh, definitely. So I don't have trouble fan casting like easy here. It's a little harder just because I know for a fact I love the character designs now, but
Hmm.
I know like live action. I know
Yes,
who I want.
Jackie, you definitely need to go down the rabbit hole
Please do.
and read with us because it's all great. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. And then come and talk to us about it. Come and talk to us
Hmm.
about it and let's geek out. But
But yes,
uh
we're at the point where Fallon
mhm,
and they meet. She can see horns start to she sees his horns sprout up, his eyes start to turn yellow, like bright glowy yellow, and he just becomes very feral. And so oh, I think we lost her, and I'm in a thunderstorm, so if I disappear for a little while it's because of weather. But so she sees he's kind of feral, she takes off running, and like she can hear the branches snapping behind him because he's like going after her. Luckily, she's close to home, and so she's running through the cinnamon grove, and she knows
mhm,
every inch and corner. So she's bobbing and weaving through all the spaces, but like he's not even dodging anything; he's just barreling straight through. Like I think she
mhm,
jumps in between a couple of trees at one point, and she can hear the trees crash because he's just
mhm,
darting after her. But she's like screaming, she's yelling, and she finally gets to her parents' house, and she gets inside, closes the door, shoves some
mhm,
stuff against the door, and she's safe. And
mhm.
so she can't really sleep. Nothing really happens. He doesn't like beat down the door or anything,
Yeah.
but she's all frantic and telling her parents like there's this crazy guy trying to kill me and all this stuff.
Mhm.
And they're like, girl, you had too much to drink. We're going
Exactly.
to bed. You sleep it off.
Mhm,
So the next morning happens, and the whole family it has gathered for breakfast. Um,
mhm.
oh, yes. At one point, she hits him with a cinnamon. That's important. So,
Yep.
yes, to get away, yes, she gets a cinnamon branch and smacks him in the head. He doesn't
Mhm.
really like it, doesn't really phase him because he's a big demon man, but
Yeah.
it was
We'll
enough to
figure it
like
out. Yeah.
shake him off and stun him to where she could get away.
Mhm. It's
Yes.
like Mace.
Thank you,
Demon Mace.
Letitia. Also, Letitia is also my co-pilot in Babies and Friends podcast. Thank you so much for doing both and
Yeah,
helping me
definitely.
with this part too.
No, I would definitely say that's something I thought was really interesting because, like, as somebody who grew up in a spiritual household, like, everything has something connected, right? And cinnamon is actually something to ward off demons, usually, or promote luck or certain things, depending on what you do. Um, I know a little more difference, but I thought that was interesting to put in that. where he was like, she throws it at him. He doesn't disappear, but he gets like a little laggy. He's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when she wakes up, she thinks it's kind of like a dream and then realize it wasn't a dream. Her family's not taking her seriously because why would that happen? She's drunk. She's just crazy. The brothers come in and they start like sassing her, like making fun of her, like, haha, I'm a demon. Look at me. I'm chasing you. Mind you, all grown, and I love it. But I do also like the layout. They have a building, the housing area or the farm. So on this big plot of land, all the kids and everybody, they're all grown, live in their own little homes on the area. So they all work the farm. They all have their own section. They all have their own jobs.
Yeah.
And I thought that was adorable. Like, just I don't know. I'm a sucker for family living. And that's something I would like because I would love to have a big plot of land, have my whole family live there, but like also at your own house. Don't come to my house. I'll come to mom's house, mom and dad's house for dinner,
Yeah.
Sunday dinner or something. But other than that, I don't want to see y'all every day. But that was really good. I did like that part. But they're making fun of her to the point where she's just like, I gotta wake up, start enjoying breakfast with the family. This is when they get into the whole mom being she doesn't remember their names. So she's just saying like all these like, the girl there's like so. I think they're all different like names, like just naming down like child one, child two, child three. And then she's just like, you know what? Spare child, stop messing with the girl child. And I was just like, yes, that's exactly what my mom would say.
It reminded me
Because
so much of my grandma because my
uh-huh,
my aunt is named Annette and
mhm,
I'm Jasmine, and she'd be like, Jeanette, come here,
yep,
and we're both
yep.
like, which
Just
one
both
of
of
us
y'all
are
come
you talking
together.
about? You know your name. I'm the one
Mhm,
that named you both, so I know who you
exactly.
are. I'm like, okay, mama,
Yep,
grandma.
exactly. And you don't say it, you just let it go. You're like, yeah, okay. My mom, my family, we have everybody begins with the J, most of the family, especially the women. So they all just call us J. And they're just like Jay, and we're like, which one? Which one are you saying? But like with my mom, she has 5 kids, so like she'll be at a table or something or cooking or whatever, and she does the same thing, and she's just like, Jay, Eve, AJ, you know what? 1 through 5, get to the table, figure it out. And I'm like, all right, we're all good. But I did love that because again, it connects. The book has no issue connecting, and I
Mm-mm.
love that. And even the sassiness is like when she calls him. I think it's the youngest son. Exactly. When they go to the youngest son, I think it's the youngest son, and she's like, spare child. Stop messing with the girl child. And he was like, is that what I really am? Of course, he's not really offended, but he's just like, oh my goodness, how could you guys just playing it off? And the dad's like, yup, that's right. That's exactly right. You're the spare. And it's just like, pops who usually do that stuff. And then it's just like a whole crazy situation. They're all joking and laughing. And I think the one comment was like, wasn't it funny that she got all of her names right the first time, but kept going? And I was like, exactly a mom thing to do.
Mm.
Um, but while they're enjoying breakfast, she's trying to explain what happened again. Nobody's believing her, but they believe, but the parents want her to go to the temple to pray for protection. And they're just like, I think we get into the point now that they had another daughter. They had a sister. Sin had a sister, um, who we believe is dead at the moment. I think it's implied it's at this point because they don't talk about it like she's passed on. So
Is
they're
that
like, hey,
Cherry?
huh?
Is that
Huh?
Cherry? Is her
I
name
think
Cherry?
it's I don't remember
Oh,
her name at the top of my head. Wait a minute. I think I have it in my notes here. Give me a second.
I'm looking at my notes. Let me see if I can find her.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I have it in like in the things here. These are all from the book telling me what to say because I don't know. Let's see.
Sister is Cherry. Yeah, Letitia's
Cherry.
sister.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's why I laughed about it because Cherry in both books is
Both
hilarious.
books. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So with that being said, uh thank you. So yeah, so Cherry is gone right now. And they were like, look, you have to go pray to the goddess for protection. She's like, fine, I guess I'll go. And that's when they see the demon at the door, the window, and he's just looking at her like, open the door.
He's
And
just staring at her.
yeah,
Imagine
he's just
this
so
big,
creepy.
horned, wolfish
Yeah.
man that is a
Mhm.
stranger, but gigantic, staring daggers at
Mhm.
you through your parents' door.
Yeah.
Creep.
Yeah. It was so I thought it was like adorable because in my mind, he's just like at the glass like this, like face pressed, and just like, so y'all not gonna let me in or not? Let me in. And I think that's his whole energy. He's just like, so you're not gonna do what I want? I don't understand.
Oh,
Like he's so privileged in that. Hmm?
yeah. So
Hmm.
okay, I found where they see him. Okay, and so it ends, with them making fun of spare child.
Hmm.
um, yeah, like mom called him spare child, spare male
Hmm.
child. I wheezed, trying not to choke on my stolen bacon. The spare male child threw himself on the table in a fit of drama. Is that all I am to you, mother? A spare in a case, uh, a spare in case Chile perishes in the Great War. Ma
Hmm.
eyed him with the most deadpan face I ever seen
Hmm.
in all my 24 years. Also, this book has a protagonist that is over 18. Can we get like
Love that. Love that.
I'm so sick of them being like, she's 16 or she's just
She's
18.
the chosen one
She's the
now, and she
chosen
just turned
one.
freshly 60. Shut up. I don't want to read that.
No,
I'm too old.
is 24 years old, okay? And so they're laughing around the table, yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
Chili was already pushing 30 and courting a pretty lass in his town. With any luck, our family would grow soon again. Mom was constantly hounding us for grandkids, but Cumin and I would rather leave that task to our eldest brother. Cumin was too busy chasing
Exactly.
skirts. Yeah, he was chasing skirts in his travels to nearby towns. And well, I just wasn't ready to even think about kids. I knew plenty of other 24-year-old women who were already in their second or third child, but I couldn't imagine doing it. But honestly, Sin, Chili spoke again. If you truly saw a demon, then we need to gather men from the village to find it immediately. Can you tell me what it looked like? With my mouth too full of bacon, I held up a finger to him so I could finish
Relatable.
chewing before answering. I look a bit like this, came a voice out of the side of the kitchen window. The deep voice of my darkest nightmare made me choke on the food I was eating, bacon grease dribbling down my chin. I turned towards the window to see a tall, lean body resting casually against the open frame. The demon's shoulders were massive and his hips narrow. Why in goddess's name did I ogle the man who attacked me? His dark brows furrowed as he cocked his head to the side. Did the raccoons teach you table manners as well? A smirk spread across his lips. You do know the food stays inside your mouth. Waste is an awful thing. So that's Fallon.
Fucking sassy. I love him. So far, I love him so much.
He's so
Uh
sarcastic.
he is, but I think that's what Sin needs too. Like I think they play so well with each other where it's just like again, the audacity that is Fallon, and then she's just like, what the I don't want to do any of this. There was no reason. And he's like, but you got to shut up and follow me. Like again, so now he's in the house. People are going crazy because like there's a demon in their house. Which are supposed to be they're supposed to be like protected. They don't know how to handle the situation. They get a little frantic.
Mhm.
The brother Chili, I believe, like confronts him, and Fallon's just like, "Whap! Like you're not attacking me. Stop."
Yeah, little brother tries to, he tries to
Yeah,
help his sis,
and then
and no, it is not going to work
no,
against him.
yeah,
And
but
then like
he restrained.
Fallon's so nonchalant about it. They're like, "Why
Yeah.
are you attacking us?" He's like, "Well,
So
when
you're
no
supposed
one,
to just attack me, bro?
right?
I think he said he was like, what did he say? He was like, I'm not used to human customs. However, am I supposed to let him attack me? Is that a thing? And
Mhm.
they're like, no, but like, don't do it. Don't do it. How about that? They really do.
But yeah, he knocks the craziness out of her brother. He's like coughing air back into his lungs. They thought he died for a second because he just
Yeah,
flopped to the ground and just
exactly.
possummed on the ground. And,
I would have possum too.
and
I'm
then
not
he
trying
like
to fight
took
no
a
demon.
breath. And he's just like, yeah, your bravery was like commendable, but like, I'm not here to fight y'all. I just want to ask you about this. And he holds up the cinnamon stick, and they're like,
Exactly.
cinnamon? The men's try to solve the problem. I know they have their own ways. They have
But
their
I
own.
think that's what I loved about the mom because she literally was just like, "Okay, everybody, chill out. What do you need, sir? What do you need? You want bacon? You want some food?" He's
Yeah,
like,
mom's
"Oh my god,
like,
I love food. I haven't had food
yeah,
in so long."
because mom peeps the situation right away. She's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's a demon in my house. My sons are trying to die,
Hmm.
defending their honor. Let's just take a beat. Everybody
Hmm.
have a seat. We're having breakfast. You want something while we're
Yeah.
talking?
Very
Like
mama.
everybody get comfortable. Dad thought he was gonna say something. She just shot him the side eye. It
Yeah.
was like, not right now.
But also, if okay, so just because I got reminded too, the mom, there's something you have to know about the mom. Her hair, I think it's like a mullet or something like that, and there's tattoos. So
Mm-hmm.
the tattoos are from a tribe or connected that she's with, which they don't go into full detail at this time.
No,
However, Fallon is like
he calls her.
so Bard. Yeah, he's like, okay, Bard, like you should know about me. Like you know my strength. And they're like, Bard, what are you
And
talking about?
then
It's like, yeah, isn't that what she is? Is that what she is? Is she just like making bacon, making him a plate?
mom just like acts like she didn't hear anything. She's
And
just
she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I have to wait until we get to that part when they divulge that, but or
yes.
go into deeper. But pretty much like the whole thing is just like from what I can gather, the mom is connected um to great adventures. It has to be because again, if she's tattooed with stories or history of her travels or whatever, her people, whatever, that usually that's how they really kind of go through that. A.
It's giving Queen Sugar. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. This is like
So,
fantasy Queen Sugar. Yes,
mhm.
it's so
So,
good.
uh, so they clock it. Everybody's calm. He's fucking up the food. He's eating. He's like, oh my god, I've never like he never eaten bacon in his life.
Yeah, he's just like shoveling in, talking about, yeah, so you guys got this lich and she made me go crazy and da 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 da
Oh
da.
yeah,
And they're like, we don't even know what you're talking about.
exactly. I think that was really interesting too. So now we go into the part of where I think the dad asked the question, like, how can you even be here when
Mm-hmm.
Mava is protecting us? He's like, Mava, you
He's
mean
like,
the lich?
goddess, the
He's
lich.
like, God, yeah. He just starts laughing. He's
He's
like, he tricked. She's like, wait, excuse me. She tricked y'all to think that she's a goddess. She's an old ass witch. Like she has nothing to do for y'all. And
mm-hmm.
they're like, nah, that's not true. She's like, bro, she's been possessing like the wall that everybody thinks that's protecting the demons have actually been possessing the demons to make them go crazy, to force
Mm-hmm.
them away from the village, just so she can gain power and
And
keep
look like
power
the
there.
hero. Yeah.
Exactly. So she looks like she's the hero, like she's this, but she's not. She ain't shit. She just took these poor villagers or the villages, and because she has like four or so temples,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like she rules them all like she's a goddess, but she's not. So they're like, well, what the hell you want us to do about it? Like we're not going against her. So what you call says, what did she say? She says, like, I'm not doing anything. And Fallon's like, look, remember that cinnamon stick you threw at me? He's like, what is this? He's like, it's cinnamon. Yeah, okay, so that broke my like
My crave.
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like cleared my mind. So I think like we should like capitalize on this moment and like go start wrecking shit. And she's like, "Aw,
Aw.
thank you." But what was it? She says like she doesn't want to do it. She's like, I'm not an adventurer. I don't want to do that. None of this. But he was like, but you have to. You're the only one. And I think the dad jokes like, "Oh, we have demon repellent," and he's like, "No, not that." Yay! It's like, "No, we don't have that." It's like, "I'm better than that. Like, let's not get crazy." He was like, "It just broke me out of my like hypnosis or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And so now he embarks her on this journey to go to the temples or the temple at the time because they didn't talk about the other ones yet of to kind of break the curse. So the demons, they're like, well, what happens if the demons come to us then? Like we're screwed. And he's like, not if I claim y'all, so don't worry about it. So either way, it's gonna be Gucci. And so they embark on that journey,
Oh,
which we
I
love.
have the explanation that Fallon gives mom because
Hmm.
she was like, "This can't be right. I know that Mava is a goddess," and so Fallon smiles ruefully. Yes, I'm sure it benefits her to have you think that to think that she's a goddess. Around 600 years ago, she enraged a few other powerful demons. They tried to kill her after she sacrificed their children to feed her dark magic. She used her newfound power to hypnotize most of the demon population and force us to migrate to a frozen wasteland. Then created Volsite Gate to keep us from leaving. From the looks of it, her next step was to pass herself off as a goddess. You've been unknowingly guarding her heart for generations. And so
Hmm.
Cumin was like, "Why should we trust this dude? He attacked our sister, and now he's just here. He's a demon. Why are we listening to him?" And so he goes, You don't have to believe what I tell you, but you can see it for yourself." And so
Hmm.
that's why Cinnamon's like, let me go see that. What's going on?
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Shenanigans. Just shenanigans. I don't know. Would you believe if somebody told you that though? Like you believed your whole life this person was a goddess.
I wouldn't believe it because I know, like myself, younger, I was super devout. I thought I was going to go be a nun.
Mhm,
Then I found out I had to convert to Catholicism. And I was like, dang, that's so complicated. I just want to be a nun.
mhm.
But like, I was
Yeah.
so into it. So I think like younger me would have been like,
Mhm.
no. But he did provide proof. He brought like an
Yeah.
amulet and was like, if this amulet works the way I say it's going to work, then you have to
Mhm,
go through with this. And
mhm.
so everyone's like, well, I mean, we go to the temple anyway. It wouldn't hurt, you know, to go see it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
and I mean, and he's a demon. He could have killed them all. So it's kind of
yeah.
like at gunpoint being like, hey, come check
Yeah.
this out.
Mm. But I think he says that too, doesn't he? He's like, well, what if we don't want to do what you want to do? He's like, well, then I could just drop this cinnamon and then we could just see what happens. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, daddy, it's okay. I'll follow you. It's fine. You don't have to threaten me with a good time. But yeah, like he was talking about. But I think the mom would have beat the shit out of him. I ain't
But
gonna lie. I feel
yeah,
like the mom.
but he was saying like he's really upset because every 15 years she makes them go crazy and makes the demons kill each other too. So it's
Hmm.
like even worse where they are at. They're already at this wasteland, and then they have to brace themselves for possibly killing their friends, their family, their lovers, whoever is around. So
Hmm.
it's a pretty intense situation he's in. And given that, I think he's actually being very kind about it because he
Yeah.
could have just dragged her out and been like, "We're doing this,"
Yeah.
but he's trying to
Hmm.
be nice.
Exactly. And
Giselle is
I
looking particularly beautiful tonight. Aww,
aw,
that's so sweet.
thank you.
Aww,
Appreciate you. Let's see. Look,
gerrymandering in fantasy.
look. All I know is I would have went. I felt like I would have went. Like I'm like, look, you could have. I felt the same way. Like if you could have killed me, I just might as well check anyway. Because what if we all been living a lie? Like let's hurry up and get this shit done. But I think it's we get to the point where they go to the first temple at this point. I do like the pace of this book too, because I think like by chapter 4, chapter 5, no, chapter 4, they're at the temple, which I'm talking about now, I think. Because
Chapter
chapter
three.
5, huh?
Chapter 3, yeah, they
They're
go.
at chapter 3. Oh, geez.
Mhm.
See?
Yeah.
Well, look,
Great
chapter
show.
whatever the heck at this point, but well, within the chapters, they have they're at the temple. She's like, she also questions beforehand, like, you could just go by yourself, and she's like, no, like the magic is so strong there, he loses consciousness in a sense. And so she goes. I forget what happens. Is it the amulet she throws in? Because there's like
He
all these like.
he gives her the amulet to hold on to. But
Mhm,
before they go, one of the cute, cozy things that happens is like they
mhm.
talk about Cinnamon's horses, and she
Oh
has two
yeah.
cute horses. I think they're like Dash and
Mm.
oh,
Smash.
Dash and Smash.
Smash, which I
Bash.
think is funny as
I
heck.
know because I'm thinking Bash and Cat.
Yeah, no, I said when I was reading, I was like, "Is there bash in this book?" And it's like, no, it's smash. And I always think smash because I think that's hilarious to me.
Yes, Smash
Smash
and
and
Bash
bash.
are
Hmm.
cutie pie horses, and what girl didn't dream of like having horses when she was younger? So this
Hmm.
like hit me in a Tinder spot because
Hmm.
her horses are so sweet. And
Hmm.
wait, is Dash Smash and Bash or Dash?
I think it's smash and dash.
I think
Y'all
so.
making me question my whole life. We'll figure that out later. But we got two
Yeah.
horses. One of them is definitely named Smash
Yes. And so
because
they
we talk
go.
about him a few times. But
He definitely Valen complains about how many spices she brings, and he's just like, "You're
mhm,
just doing too much. You're packing too much. You need me, and you need a way to get there.
mhm,
That's all you need." And she's like,
mhm,
"Listen, you're the one eating up all the food. You're gonna want something that has some
mhm.
seasoning. Come on, I'm not going anywhere without seasoning my food. Just and
Exactly.
I'm a spice trader. Let me just do my thing." So
Exactly.
anyway, they go. They get to the temple, and yeah, they found the amulet. I mean, the like the goblet that like they do their sacrifices for that holds all of Merva's power at that temple.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Okay, go ahead." And so Sin smash it, like tries to smash it, and it cracks. And then like she sees like a lich, like skeleton arm try
Hmm.
to grab her, and she's like, "Oh my god, he was telling the truth." So she's like trying to break the
Wrap
thing.
it, yeah. I
And the
think
whole
she said it smelled too. She's like, it smelled like death. Like
yeah,
your bubble was busted. Like when you go there and you're like, wait a minute,
yes, it was like
this isn't what we thought.
it all of a sudden the floor turned into like sludge of like rancid
Mhm.
blood and like lumps of eyeballs, and
Mhm.
it was gross. Like lots of
Anything that symbolizes dark magic, I guess, if you want to
yeah,
think about that.
it was
Hmm.
gross. And so like she hears the scream when it starts to shatter, and it's like, "What
Hmm.
have you done?" You know, like, "You, how
Hmm.
dare you?" And it's like the evil witch's voice. And so she's like,
Hmm.
"Oh my gosh, yes." She's like, "You're a damn witch. You tricked us."
Hmm.
And now's the end of everything. And so she breaks
Yeah.
it. And so she gets the
Yeah.
proof she needs. Merva was not a goddess, she was a lich.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Well, it was nice doing business with you, Fallon. I hope you have fun, you know, destroying the other three temples, and I'll see you later." He's like, "Wait, what? There's other temples?" And she's like, "Uh-huh, yep, you have fun with that. Bye-bye." And he's like, "No, you have to take me so we can go finish the rest."
Hmm. No.
Yeah.
I I did like that part though when they came to the realization that there was multiple temples, and I think the one excerpt was like he starts like throwing flames or something. He's just like he's like, ah, like just screaming like, what do you mean there's more? He's like, yeah, there's like technically four, like, but three now because we destroyed this one. And he's like, what? I just want to leave, like I don't want to be here. And she's like, well, sucks to be you, bro, I'm leaving. He's like, no, 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 you gotta help me. You're gonna help me. And she's like, but this was our deal. It's like, no, our deal was when it was done. Let's be real. But also to kind of circle back to the Spice situation, I think it was such a funny thing because he's such a shit talker. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, you don't need none of that shit. Like, you don't need that. It's like, what kind of bland place do you eat at where your world is from that you don't know spices? And like when she starts cooking with it and stuff later on, and he's just like eating it up. Like he's never eaten anything in his life. He literally again sasses her the whole time. She does something. He's like,
He's like,
You,
oh, you eat
yeah,
bugs? You eat
yeah,
bugs?
like the crawfish thing made me laugh so bad because it's like, so you're eating swamp spiders? He's like, no, these are crawfish. These are fucking like delicacies. And he's like, swamp spiders. Okay, like simpleton.
But before we go, there
Hmm.
is a little cozy, like it's starting to get spicy moment right
Hmm.
after she smashes the goblet. And I'm gonna read it
Hmm.
real quick because it's
Go
really,
ahead.
but I think you guys need to warm up with us before we get into the real spicy parts. But
Definitely.
so she crushes it, and she like says like to Fallon, don't you just want to go feral? Because she's like frustrated that things
Hmm.
were attacking them and everything.
Hmm.
And so she says, her breath came out in a harsh shudder and adrenaline coursed through me. Grabbing the goblet at the base, I slammed the tip against the corner of the altar with all my strength I had. Finally, it shattered completely. I dropped to my knees as an ear splitting screech echoed through the temple. The walls shook and cracked, and rocks tumbled from the ceiling. Fallon, look out! I shouted before slamming into him, knocking us both to the side before a boulder could smash into his head. She's the hero.
Hmm.
Strong arms wrapped tightly around my waist as the world rushed by me. My stomach churned at the force of it, but the next thing I knew, I was outside the temple in the safety of the surrounding trees. The temple I once visited every solstice as a child heaved and collapsed onto itself. It's done, I breathed. Ass whooping alligators, I actually did it. My
Hmm.
companion barked out a laugh and held me tighter. I wasn't sure you had the guts, little rabbit. A
I love that he calls her
masculine,
that.
I know, a masculine scent of black currant and violet came over me as I noticed just how close we were. The cage of his arms was all too easy to fall into. No doubt it would be a welcome reprieve from the undead ogre and rotting flesh. I sighed and leaned closer to inhale his scent. Sin, focus. He could still turn on you. Shaking my head, I pushed away from him. Well, you certainly gave me enough motivation.
Hmm. I love that. And I
Yeah.
love those little subtle bits of it too. Like that's what really, again, another reason why I like the book because it doesn't push the spicy so directly. Because this is something like, let's say again, we're inputting ourselves in our books, and that's something I would do. I'm like, okay, calm down, girl, calm down. But like, but you can hold me a little tighter. It's all right. I'll be your rabbit. It's okay. It's okay. But like,
Let
I'm
me
also
tell
sassing him.
you smell so good.
Yeah, and I was like, currents, I love that. But
Mm.
I'm really excited to get deeper into this book and then we can continue on not this week. I think our next one is going to be the 2nd
Yes.
of August. August. Oh
August,
my gosh, you're
August
already there.
2nd.
Look at us. August. Woo. But
Yeah.
we'll be back next week. We're going to replay this so everybody can catch up, read the books. Or read the book, read the first one, and then we could always talk about it in the future. Um, Follow us on
Yes,
all
catch
social. We're going to go through that. So if you can actually, because I have an announcement or so at the end, so I'm going to let lovely Jasmine here, get you all connected with her.
yeah, you can follow the Black Fayday page on Instagram and all your socials. And Fabies and Friends is on Instagram. You can follow that page as well. And I'll be doing more in the fall, uploading for that limited series. It's a 6 episode series. We have episodes 1 and 2 on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, and Amazon Music.
Love that. And of
Mhm.
course, show some love to the gang that helps us out. A big family we have. We are, of course, connected to or a part of the HNIC network platform. We love them. Thank you so much, guys. As well, of course, the Unicorn Universe Network that's coming soon. So keep an eye out on them as well. We're so excited for them as well. And of course, my fancy self, you can find me on all social media platforms as Ms. Jazelle. Or if you're spicy, we're going to do Obey Miss J. And for the podcast that's going to be debuting this weekend, Sunday at 8:30 p.m., that is going to be Sexually Speaking. So please be wary that this is about oh my gosh, BDSM themes, lifestyle, everything like that. So if you're kinky and you want to have those conversations, we are the people to do that for you. Um, First episode, I think I named it as Two Brats Make a Podcast, which I think is adorable. Two Brats. I think it's Two Brats Make a Show. And I thought it was adorable. So here we go. So I'm actually going to show a little of, I guess you could say like a little digital flyer just to keep everybody in the know. And then you could also follow us there real quick.
Back when I feel like... You know I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word like You know I don't play right. You know I don't play back when I feel.
That is amazing. I love that. That song I've been not digital. I've been editing everything for the past week, and that song's been playing over and over and over and over again. And I'm just like, I know this song already. It's a jam. It's a bop. But yes, guys, follow us. Thank you for supporting us. Please also, for all Nymphs of Lore social media, add us. We are so close to hundreds on some of our pages and over. We just want to make sure that we're supporting and reaching everybody. TikTok has been wild for us. They keep trying to block our videos. They'll let me post it on Miss Jazelle's TikTok, but not our TikTok. I don't know. So if you see our stuff, share it, like it, talk about it. If you also have any idea of books that you would also like us to read, any recommendations, let us know. If you have any questions about the books, let us know. We're always here. Trust me, especially me. Trust me, I'm online always. But so much love. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your time and hanging out with us. And if anything, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.